Hello students, let us start with a new lesson, that is metals and non-metals. This is the third lesson of 10th chemistry, metals and non-metals. Correct? Actually, when we are talking about metals and non-metals, we are talking about the elements. Elements we already know. This is the purest substance made up of similar kind of particles and further cannot be broken down into more simpler substances. So basically we are talking about elements. And elements can be differentiated into metals, non-metals and also the metalloids. We'll be discussing about that also. To understand that, let us go back to understand the valence electron that you already have studied in the 9th class. What are valence electron? Let us discuss valence electron. Valence electrons. The electrons which are present in the outermost shell of the atom. Electrons which are present in the outermost shell of the atom. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So these are the numbers of electrons which can be present in the outermost shell of the atom. 1, 2, 3. These are the atoms of the element which loses electron. Which loses electron. Right? 5, 6, 7. They gain the electron. The atoms of these elements gains electron. And what for they are losing and gaining? They are losing and gaining for basically getting the octet to complete. What is octet? Octet means बाहर वाले शेल में 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को ले आना ऑक्टेट कहलाता है. कंप्लीशन ऑफ ऑक्टेट. जब 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर वाले शेल में आ जाते हैं, the 8 electrons which comes in the outermost shell makes the atom stable. For that reason, some elements loses electron and some gains the electron. Now, 8, the atom of the element which is having already 8, these are called noble gases or inert gases. They don't lose, they don't gain, so they are inert. Fourth one, the elements which have 4 electrons in the outermost shell neither gains and neither lose. They rather share the electrons. They rather share the electrons to form covalent bonds. Right? Now let's come to this part. The atoms of the elements which loses electrons are metals. Whenever an atom loses its electron, means it is losing its electron charge, means negative charge. Usually in atom, number of positive charge, that is proton, and number of electron, that is negative charge, are equal, so atom is neutral. But when an atom of the element loses electron, means it is losing its negative charge. So negative charge is coming down. That means this atom of the element will become positively charged cation. Become positively charged ion, and positively charged ion is called cation. Remember that. In the same way, when atom of an element which gains the electron, gaining of electron simply means this atom is gaining the negative charge. So it will be gaining the negative charge, having extra negative charge. So these are the atoms of the elements which gain electron and become negatively charged. Anion. So from here, by understanding losing electron and gaining electrons, we can understand the metals. So what are metals? Metals are the elements. Metals are basically elements. Their atoms loses electron and become positively charged cation. and non-metals are the elements and their atoms gains the electron and become negatively charged anion. This is the difference in the property which is segregating the elements into metals and non-metals. Correct? Another thing, some elements have both the properties of metals and non-metals, and these particular elements which have both the properties of metals and non-metals are called metalloids. So first you have to understand metals, non-metals and metalloids. This is the classification of the elements. Now metals, if we discuss, you must have heard of gold, silver, copper, zinc, magnesium, sodium, potassium, mercury. These are all examples of the metals, right? Non-metals are chlorine, bromine, phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen. These are all non-metals. So if we calculate, 92 metals are available naturally and 22 are non-metals. But although the non-metals are very less in number, but the life cannot be possible without the non-metals. Like oxygen is a non-metal which is required for respiration by every organism. Nitrogen, it is present in the atmosphere 78%, but nitrogen atoms are required for making RNA and DNA. So life is not possible without the non-metals also. Remember that. So this way we can classify metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metalloids example is antimony, gallium, germanium, silicon, boron. These are all examples of metalloids. Right? I hope first we should understand what are metals and non-metals and metalloids, then we'll be moving towards the physical and chemical properties of these all metals and non-metals. Thank you.